The Chicago Bulls complete their second comeback from 20 points down in successive games. I didn't say that right, but nonetheless, y'all know what I'm talking about. The Bulls came back from 20 points down for the second game in a row. We're going to talk about it all and more. But first, we got to play that intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, man, we get to talk about another Bulls dub despite being at one point in this game down by 20 points for the second game in a row. The Chicago Bulls show so much grit and determination to come back in this game. Back-to-back quarters in the second and third quarter of scoring scoring 34 points and 64 points in two quarters for the Chicago Bulls that ends up proving to be a big thing in this game, as both teams cannot make a field goal throughout most of the fourth quarter of this game, but the Bulls turned it on when they need to, and they got it done. This is, again, another show of the determination of this Bulls team. And for my Bulls fans that came into this season thinking that the Bulls could win 40 or something games, the Bulls now have two quality wins against teams destined for the playoffs. Yes, the Memphis Grizzlies did have their own players out in Ja Morant. JJJ did not play in the fourth quarter of this game, but this game against the Orlando Magic, who came into this 3-1 on the season, were fully healthy. 100% fully healthy team, and most of their key players contributed out throughout all of this game. Now, yes, Franz Wagner did have some issues when it came down to his health towards the end of this game, but for the most part, the Bulls took care of business, and they did so by showing enough defensively. The second half of this game, the Bulls made some very key defensive adjustments and plays, and we're talking about the team really turning around in a case like that. We're going to talk about the individual performances because, Lord, there's a story to be told there. But outside of the individual performances, you just got a team playing as a team. Even with Jalen Smith and Lonzo Ball being out in this game, the bench still puts up 22 points off the bench for the Chicago Bulls today. 12 of that coming from Ayo Dosunmu, goes 6 of 8 from the field. Still not shooting the three ball well, but overall playing extremely good in this game. But big shots made by Josh Giddey. Big shots made by Patrick Williams. Giddey just, again, a double-double for Josh Giddey yet again, which we'll talk about. Zach LaVine contributed in this game as well, even though he only hit 2 shots in this game, 2 for 9 over the course of this game. But overall, it was the team effort that came together in this game that got the Bulls this dub. And you got to give it tons of credit for what the Bulls were able to do in this game. But let's talk about the performance of Josh Giddey. 6 of 11 from the field, 4 of 4 from three-point range, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, only 1 turnover as well for Josh Giddey. He leads the team in plus minus at plus 11. We keep seeing better and better of Josh Giddey. As the season goes on, he's playing better and better, and that three-point shooting percentage continues to be a weapon for Josh Giddey, and it just makes defenses think. If Josh Giddey is going to keep hitting the three-pointer at any type of consistency, it's going to make teams think about how they have to defend Josh Giddey. And just that extra second of thinking about how you want to guard him, Josh Giddey can get the ball to an open teammate as long as they're slashing, right? So because of all those things, you got to pick your poison when it comes down to it. Josh Giddey played an excellent game, 20 points, the second leading scorer in this game, and just throughout this game, Giddey got better and better and better. And while we could talk about Giddey's defensive limitations all day, every day, it was a really good performance from Josh Giddey. But one thing as well from this Bulls starting lineup, every starter registered a steal in this game. I don't know when's the last time it happened. I'm not going to act like I know off the top of my head, but that was crazy. That was crazy. Now, Kobe White as well in this game. 8 of 16 from the field. That's 50% overall. 4 of 10 from three-point range. 40%. That's solid. 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 21 points. He led the team in points scored, even though he had a negative plus minus. Patrick Williams also with two big threes in this game and a dagger down the stretch of this game to put the Bulls up for the final time. They never gave the lead up after that. That was really good to see. Patrick Williams with 10 points. He also had some really good defensive stretches for this team as well in this game. Nikola Vucevic, what can you say about Vooch? No three-pointers made today. He was 0 for 3 from the three-point line. Still finished 7 of 16 from the field for 18 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal in this game. And yeah, overall the starters performed really well in this game. Hats off to the Chicago Bulls. Hats off to how we performed in this game. Yeah, man, this game came down to who made the right plays at the right time, especially in that fourth quarter. And the Bulls were able to get it done. The Bulls were able to get it done. And the Bulls made some defensive stops in this game. For a game that started off, the Bulls defense couldn't stop a damn thing. But it really changed for the Bulls in the second half of this game. Now, the fourth quarter, with no teams being able to hit, it is what it is, right? The Bulls finished this game 38% from three, which is still solid. We'll take that, taking 34 three-pointers, and 42% from the field. After how cold they were in the first half of this game, we'll take that when it comes down to it. The Bulls and the Magic tie on bench points, 22 points each off the bench. The Bulls have 40 points in the paint in this game as well, 18 points off fast break. All of those numbers were very even between the two teams. The thing that made the difference is the Bulls shot better in the second half of this game. And the Orlando Magic, man, they didn't do enough down the stretch of this game. And you got to give credit for the Chicago Bulls walk away from this game with a defensive rating of 98.2. 98.2. That's an excellent defensive rating. Excellent. And the Bulls finished with a true shooting percentage of 57%. But you just have to watch this game to see the way that this team made plays down the stretch. It was so great to see the way that this team performed down the stretch, going 9 of 20 from three in the second half of this game, specifically the third quarter, though, right? Because the fourth quarter was weird. In the third quarter of this game, the Bulls go 50% from the field, 12 of 24 shooting. They go 8 of 14 from three-point for 57% shooting. They have a 68% true shooting percentage in the third quarter of this game. That's where the Bulls won this game at. That's where they won this game at. So important for the way. And this is why you have to play a full 4 quarters of basketball. Despite Zach LaVine not making a lot of shots in this game, not being what we've come accustomed to seeing from him at the start of this season, he was still locked in. He got those 10 rebounds from Zach LaVine, 3 assists, and a steal. He did have 4 turnovers. It is what it is there. But Zach LaVine really, for any type of 2 for 9 from the field, Zach LaVine really still keyed in and was able to help his team win a basketball game, made some plays down the stretch of this game as well. So overall, you got it. Hats off to the coaching staff. Hats off for this team to show an ability to come back down from 20 points down. And by the way, the Bulls are over 500 for the first time since November of 2022. Almost 2 years since the Bulls have been above 500. We finally get that on this type of game. Great, amazing, wonderful to see. Huge, man. This is, listen, let me fan out for a moment. I'll get back to being the podcaster that's delivering the show. This was an amazing fucking game, yo. This is what you tune into basketball to watch. These types of games is what you tune in to watch for. The ebbs and flows of this game, the big shots. One team would hit a shot, the other team would hit a shot. This was one of the most fun basketball games, even outside of the Bulls winning, that we have watched in a while from this team. And it's just, the Bulls keep getting better. What is the ceiling of this Bulls team? Hell, I don't even know anymore. Could it be 40 wins? We'll see. But as it stands right now, man, the Bulls are playing hard. They're playing for each other. They're playing tough. They're executing. We saw this team for the second game in a row as well. After facing some tough adversity, they did not default back to isolation ball. They got through this as a team. They got through this in trusting each other. They got through this in giving each other opportunities and playing for each other. It's great to see 23 assists on 36 made baskets tonight for the Chicago Bulls. That's the type of ratio that you want to see. You want to get everybody involved in this game. And that next man up mentality, man, listen, it's really good to see just the way that this team continues to perform in these type of games, man. It's great. It's just great. Listen, I got to fan out for a second. I love seeing what we saw from this Bulls team tonight. It was amazing. And we don't always see the Bulls. We have not over the past few years always seen the Bulls be able to stick through adversity. Yes, we were one of the better clutch teams in the NBA last season, but this came down to more than just clutch, right? When you come back down from 20 points, when a team that is one of the most defensive sound teams in the NBA as well is giving you the business in the first half of this game. And it really comes down to the Bulls building momentum in the second quarter of this game, right? That is an important part you cannot overlook from all of this. If it wasn't for the Bulls gaining some momentum in that second quarter, I don't know if even they have the third quarter that they had, right? And that's why you never give up. It's about 4 quarters. You cannot give up at any point in time. And the Bulls did not in this one. And they didn't. And so you got to love to see it. But Josh Giddey, man, I keep telling y'all, I do not understand the people that still hate on Josh Giddey outside of narratives. If you watch basketball and you love the game of basketball, I don't understand how you can walk away from not appreciating the way that Josh Giddey goes about the game of basketball. Is he perfect? No, he's not. But I tell you what, he keeps playing like this, that $30 million is going to be well worth it. Well worth the $30 million. Josh Giddey, despite all the criticisms, the hate, the drama around him, anytime the Bulls tweet out something about it, what it turns to in social media, this kid has just focused on basketball. Just focused on basketball. And he's come to this Bulls team and has tried to fit in and done the best that he can to just play basketball. Love it. Listen, I'm not gonna say nothing negative about it. All the other shit outside of basketball, that shit don't matter to me. I care about, well, if he was doing crazy shit, but I care about what he's doing in between those lines for the Chicago Bulls team. And I don't understand how for a Bulls team that is needed playmaking, that is needed young players, young talent to start building around, how you can continue to just hate on Josh Giddey because he isn't a great defender or he isn't whatever. And you can't even really hate on his 3-point shooting up until this point this season. Josh Giddey is shooting the ball almost 45%, probably after this game because he was 4 for 4, over 45% from 3-point range. This kid has been working on his game. How do you hate that? We spent years talking about and asking the question, what is Patrick Williams doing? Even though P. Will still gave a lot in this game, especially defensively. But for the people who have been looking at P. Will and wondering, why hasn't he improved? Why hasn't he taken a step? Josh Giddey is showing you a young player at 22 years old that's taking that step. What are we talking about? Right? What are we talking about? And shout out to Billy Donovan as well in this game, using Adama Sanogo. He only played 9 minutes, right? We did see Torrey Craig check into a game for the first time this season to play some small ball center. But shout out to Billy Donovan for giving the young kid some burnout there, right? Giving him an opportunity to show what he can bring. I didn't trust him to do it. I did not trust Billy Donovan to do it. 14 minutes for Julian Phillips, 11 minutes from Dalen Terry. By the way, we also got to talk about Dalen Terry starting to get a little edge out there. Did you see the way he was taking it to Anthony Black? Now, he didn't shoot the ball effectively, 1 for 6, but I love seeing the aggression from Dalen Terry in a game like this. Love seeing it. This was a good basketball game. Eco being in the building. Hats off to Josh Giddey. Listen, I'm telling y'all, man, I understand criticism. Criticism is one thing. Blind hate is stupidity. I'm sorry. If you blind hate on a player for whatever reason, you're stupid. I'm sorry. You're stupid. So it's just great to see this team come together. It's good to see Kobe White have a solid game as well. Don't want to overlook it. Kobe White was solid throughout this game. Gino says, yeah, I'm pretty sure the fourth quarter is going to be on Shacking the Fool. It was like they all just ate popcorn and the hoop was greased. Unbelievable. Never seen such a horrible offensive drought from both teams. Neither have I. I wonder, and they said it on the broadcast, I wonder if it set a record for longest droughts from either team making a field goal. Because it ended up being like 7.5 minutes, something like that. Crazy. Crazy that through that much of the fourth quarter, neither team could make a goddamn field goal. But hey, I'm glad that the Bulls came out on top. That's all I can say. I'm glad that the Bulls came out on top. If a game was going to be ugly, if a game was going to finish weird, I'm glad that our team came out on top and did what needed to be done. The Bulls are over 500 since my daughter's birthday, November 5th, 2022. That's crazy, man. The Bulls show grit, they show determination, they show all of that, man. They show all of that. And just to highlight the Chicago Bulls defense, right? And I'll go into more detail on this on tomorrow's daily episode, but the Bulls are holding opponents to 25% worse than what they shot in the first half and second half of games. The Bulls are holding teams down. Man, listen, adjustments. Wes Unseld Jr. gets a lot of love for what this Bulls defense is doing in second halves of games. 6 minutes of both teams going scoreless. I'm sorry, no field goals. That's crazy. That's crazy. A-Dot says, P. Will trying to win us over. Don't fall for it. Y'all know, listen, if he's playing well, he's playing well. And it's not just about offense for P. Will. P. Will's giving us some really good defensive minutes. Still wish Giddey would make a constant layup. Listen, everybody's not going to be perfect. Every player is going to have their things. Snogo looked lost every time he was on the court. He did. But that's the downside of Billy Donovan saying that a player is NBA ready and not giving him any NBA minutes. Right? November, my birthday month. I'm going in November with the dub tonight. I'm happy. Hey, shout out to you, brother. Haize finally seen Sanogo. He needs more run. And Giddey's threes was a great surprise. Pat working with him on that shot. Pat. Damn, who's our shooting coach's name? Why can't I Peter Patton. Peter Patton. Yes, Peter Patton is definitely working on him. Giddey Liddy is crazy. That's crazy, but accurate. That made shot by Banchero nearly gave that motherfucker a heart attack on the stream. Hey, man, I don't doubt that. Don't doubt that. Giddy up, mofos. Hey, listen, the blind hate on Josh Giddey got to stop at some point. Immortal Beast says the Bulls stepped up and got it done tonight. I don't know how many wins this team is going to get, but let's enjoy this moment tonight now that they're finally above 500. I mean, yeah, let's enjoy this moment for what it is. And yeah, listen, I enjoy watching this team play basketball so much. And I haven't always been able to say that. And people who've been around will know I've been saying that even when the Bulls were winning. It's not about just winning or losing. There were some games where the Bulls would win, and I did not enjoy watching the game because it was such antiquated basketball. The Bulls are playing modern day basketball right now. You got to give them love. You got to give them credit for what they've been doing and how they're really buying into the system. So yeah. Hope Zach's shoulder's okay. I was wishing they just bench him so he doesn't aggravate it worse. I mean, that is something. I won't lie. There was definitely concern for me during this game. And I hope that Zach LaVine, there is nothing lingering with Zach LaVine's shoulder, because if it is, the Bulls are going to have a hard time, replacing what Zach LaVine has brought throughout all the other games except this game, right? P. Will coming into his own. Let's hope so, man. Pressure bust pipes or makes diamonds. So what great comeback, what great back-to-back wins, Chicago Bulls. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Josh Giddey was the heart of the team tonight. Josh, listen, and you saw it even when you saw the OKC Thunder and how they all like Josh, like the players all love Josh Giddey there. Josh Giddey could be one of those players in this locker room for sure. Bronx says, listen to BKR Sport live call today for the first time. BKR is a great person, great human being. The thing that I'll tell you guys that everybody that's interacting with me will tell you, you could be a great Bulls podcaster. You could be being a great human being comes before all. That's one thing I say about Bulls Troy. Shout out to Bulls Troy. Whole lot of Bull podcasts. He's just a great human being. BKR Sports, just a great human being. Quentin from Let's Talk Bulls, just a great human being. Surround yourself with good human beings, and the rest will all work itself out, right? That's what I like to say. So this team, man, it's weird, but I'm happy with the W. But these games have been truly entertaining. Listen, we're playing a really fun brand of basketball. Hey, some people are hating on Giddey because people miss Caruso. I mean, yeah, I've done that before. I've done that before for sure. I've done that before myself with certain players. But it is what it is. Patrick gets game ball. Does he? Does he for you? That's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to argue that down at all. Anyone who watched Giddey over his first few years already knew. Yeah, but bro, like, let's be clear. No, it wasn't universal. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not universal. I know some Thunder fans that watch Giddey every single game of his career that weren't really big on him. But listen, Giddey is performing. Big dubs, but I got to say our backup wings are officially ass. Terry and Phillips, in my opinion, they're not ass. They just don't score. Dalen Terry did some things out there that wasn't about scoring. They didn't score well. But it's not just about scoring. Now you do want to rely on them more as the season goes on, but we have to evolve outside of just looking at players for them scoring or not. Julian Phillips made some really good defensive plays today, being switched on Paolo, being switched on Franz Wagner when he was out there, being switched on a smaller player like Anthony Black. Dalen Terry forced the issue against some of these players and helped get them out of rhythm. So we got to stop kind of using, and I'm not saying that's necessarily what you're doing, Big T, but I think generally there's so many basketball fans that try to give or say what the value a player brought to a game based on the box score when there's so many things that a player does defensively, off ball, being in the right spot, making the right pass that may not turn into assists that are outside the box score. Dalen Terry made some plays today that helped the Bulls win this basketball game. Julian Phillips made plays today that helped this team win basketball games. So I can't say that they're ass. That's not ass to me personally. To me, right? Everybody has their own view on it. But to me, I can't say that. Giddey is what's been missing. Definitely, possibly. Giddey's b-ball IQ is amazing. Great points there. He very high basketball IQ. Understand what you're saying, but you can surely also see why people are thinking this team looks great without DeMar. Facts. I'm glad Giddey's making threes, offsets his lack of finishing in the paint. He does got to work on that layup package for sure. He definitely has to work on that. How many assists total in the fourth quarter? Who? The team? Let's see. Because that is interesting because we didn't make very many baskets. We had 2 assists on 3. We only made 3 field goals in the fourth quarter of this game. That's crazy. That's actually pretty wild. But the fact that 2 of them were assisted, hey, I'll take that. Some folks only found out about Josh Giddey from TMZ shit. That's true. Understandable. The folks who really watched the NBA game saw a uniquely gifted, tall, triple-double machine. Hey, I can't wait till he gets his first triple-double in the Bulls uniform. Giddey ate his Vegemite, brother, Listen, here's the thing. Boom, this is what we'll do. For every triple-double that Josh Giddey has this season for the Chicago Bulls, I'll eat Vegemite. Every triple-double. I have to have BKR Sport or one of my Australian buddies send me some. But for every triple-double, I'll put it on a crumpet and eat Vegemite for every triple-double Josh Giddey has. Brother, That's all I got to say on that one. But I'll do it. Anything for the love of the game. I still feel the trade of AC for Giddey without draft picks was stupid, but Giddey's and that's the thing, Eads, right? And I think that that's a part that plays into this as well. People take out the fact that the Bulls didn't get a first round pick out on Giddey the player, right? You can, because I still think the Bulls should have gotten either a second give us something. You got a bunch of picks, give us a second something, right? I think that the Bulls should have either way got a pick in that trade, but I'm able to separate my disappointment in the Bulls not getting a pick and still look at the player that Josh Giddey is and realize he could be a pretty damn good player. And he's been a pretty damn good player for us. So yeah, love it. Imagine betting on the overs in the game in that fourth quarter. Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. Number 3 in the East. Listen, it's way too early to worry about seeding for me at this point, man. But we'll see. Liberation for all. Great point here, brother. The defense is because of West. Billy Donovan, and I can't stress this enough. And some people will say it's a cop-out. But Billy Donovan having the awareness as a head coach and say, listen, Wes is going to be better at coaching this defense than I am. Because it's one thing to turn over the defense to your assistant in training camp. And he could have left it there. It's not just left there, though. Wes Unseld is the guy up on the sidelines calling the defensive plays. He's up there coaching the team when we're on defensive possessions. He's doing what Tom Thibodeau did under Doc Rivers during their championship run. And that's not every coach in the NBA does that, right? Not every coach does that. Some coaches use their assistants to help come up with the game planning, but the head coaches are still up there. Not every NBA head coach uses it like coordinators in the NFL, where you have your defensive coordinator that's running the defense for you. And so Billy Donovan having that level of awareness, he gets a little credit for me for that. A little bit for that. Josh, but we didn't get a second round pick. Giddey, let's go Bulls. Facts. Giddey for most improved player. Hey, listen, Giddey's going to have to, the Bulls are going to have to win. I don't think most improved player has gone to a player on a losing team in a while. I could be wrong on that. I could be mixing up sixth man of the year in my head with that, but we'll see. Haize, if you're saying giddy up, that's a horse reference, and you know what that means, stallion. That's crazy. That's wild. But accurate. BKR said he got to get that meat. Love what you do, Haize. Great win. C-Red. I appreciate that. By the way, everybody hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 25,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Hit that subscribe button for me. Because listen, we bringing the best Bulls coverage out here, period. MC season, do you think the squad can win consistently with what they've shown you after 5 games? It's been 5 games. I think that they can be in games consistently, right? I still, as of right now, I'm not changing my prediction of 30 to 35 wins yet. I need to see it sustained. I will say this, if they sustain this to mid-November, that's 2 more weeks. If we get 2 more weeks of this level of play, I can tell you right now, I'm up in my win prediction. I can tell you that right now. As of right now, I just have to see it sustain a little bit more. And that's just my own personal pessimism from seeing this Bulls team over years, even though this is a very different team. But we've seen the Bulls have these great stretches where they look like they're going to be great, and then they lose 3, 4 in a row, right? And I just want to see it maintained. Not necessarily saying that they have to, win 5 out of 6 games, but I just want to see it maintained. And then I'll feel a little bit more safe in changing that prediction. That's all. But that's my own personal thing. As of right now, the guys, the guys and gals in the chat that were saying that this Bulls team could win 40 games, and I said, you're crazy if you think they could win 40 games. I'm telling you, you're no longer crazy. Personally, I just want to wait a little bit longer, but you're not crazy at all for thinking that this team could win 40 games. I was blind. Y'all saw it. I didn't. And shout out to y'all that saw that, man. This is a development year. The temptation to keep LaVine and Vooch around is going to be strong because of moments like this. We have to enjoy the wins, but stay focused on the future. And we'll see. And we'll see how focused on that future AK is. Because I tell you what, right now, Nikola Vucevic, his trade value got to be rising steadily. So if the Bulls do want to move him, I don't think that they'll have a problem if they really want to do. And we'll see how committed this team is to trying to win now, right? Muggsy says, Haize, we need to see more of the lineup of Giddey, Zoe, LaVine, Kobe, Vooch, as we scored 42 points in 9 minutes with 10 threes. No, we don't need to see very much of that lineup. That lineup's way too small. Now, that's a specialty lineup, but don't be enamored by just the points. I don't even know if that's accurate. I'll have to go and look up to see what that rotation has done. I don't know. Let's see if Basketball Reference has it. Let's see. No, that'd be more cleaning the glass. Let's see what we can find. Give me 1 second. Go to teams. Let's go here. Let's look at this. Let's see lineups. I just want to verify. That's all. So you said the Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic. Was that the lineup? Was I right on that? Josh Giddey, Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, Kobe White. So yeah. Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic. Well, fuck. That lineup that Muggsy is pointing out has a point differential of plus 91.2 in 18 possessions. That's crazy. 95% effective field goal shooting percentage, 142 points per 100 possessions. Hey, all right, maybe I'm wrong. They haven't played very many minutes together. They've only played 18 possessions together. But that's, I mean, that's crazy. Now, you don't want to do that against a team with size like the Orlando Magic, but man, that's wild. Just a reminder, folks, we're 3-5 against the 5-game start of Pelicans away, Bucks, Thunders away, Grizzlies away, and Magic. That's tough. Yeah, that's crazy. Appreciate the support, Haize. Love this journey alongside you for the last 4 years. Appreciate you as well, brother. Appreciate you as well. Kenny Polaris became a member. Shout out to you, C-Red, brother. Let's go further down in the chat. Let's see who else we got. Need these back-to-back wins to wash the taste of that Bears game. Listen, I will tell y'all right now, when when Josh Giddey had that turnover, which wasn't his fault, but when he had that turnover and the Orlando Magic were down by 3, if the Bulls would have lost that game, I would have titled this video "Another Heartbreak in Chicago." Is what I would have titled it, because man, that would have killed me. That would have killed me. That would have killed me. How good is the feeling to just be competing, though? I know it's early in the season, but the vibes are vibing right now. It's just fun to actually be able to enjoy basketball again for once. I'm right there with you, brother. Right there with you. Right there with you. Tibbs was the head coach of the champion Seas. Doc Rivers was the fake coach. That's hilarious. That's a lot of people have said that. You aren't the first one to say that, brother. Bulls keep winning, you get to 30K subscribers. I mean, hey, winning does help the channel growth. It definitely helps the channel growth. Why is my son calling me? Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. This is not great podcasting. All right. Mr. Noid in the building. What are your thoughts on Modest in these few games? I mean, there's not really he's raw. He's very, very raw. And you see that when he's out there. Now, I do like that even in being raw, that they are still trying to get him minutes, right? To kind of acclimate a little bit. But they're giving him an opportunity to show something. But Modest Bucilis is extremely, extremely raw. It just is what it is. So his anger is silly. I don't know what happened. Haize, you definitely hit over 25K by the end of the season. I mean, hey, whatever happens, happens. I'm just going to keep delivering the content that I've been delivering, and it is what it is. Whether I hit it or not, I mean, y'all going to get the same content. I will literally act like I sold out Madison Square Garden every single time I'm in front of y'all, because I appreciate y'all so much. Mario P says, to leave Giddey alone at the 3-point line transforms this offense. Facts. The inability to leave him alone, that's a fact. You know what? Everybody says hit the like button, slap the like button, caress the like button. Just caress it a little bit. Be gentle with it. Just caress it, right? Sometimes you got to be a little gentle. Caress it a little bit. Caress it. Got to keep giving Modest minutes, allow him a couple of months to get adjusted to the league. I agree with that. Definitely agree with that. Thunder fan here. This is the Giddey from 2 years ago. He played out of position last season. J-Dub's ascension last year took the ball out of Giddey's hands. Josh just turned 22, his 4th season. I say that all the time. I don't know if you don't come here a lot, but I say that all the time when it comes down to it. Like he was playing out of position, and he had to adapt to what the play, how that team was going. And so now he gets to play point guard. He gets to be the point guard. Not caressing after this dub smash. Hey, listen, sometimes you just gotta caress it. Sometimes you just gotta caress it. Just don't spit on it, but you can caress it. This game is a testament of how we don't have a go-to scorer like DeMar who would have won this game sooner when we weren't getting buckets. We need that difference maker. Oh no, come on, bro. Like you're trying to finagle something, because here's the thing that I could say is that if we had a DeMar DeRozan on this team, that the ball wouldn't have got spread around like it did. It would have slowed down. We would have been easier to defend because we wouldn't have been able to get up and down. So I get what you're saying of having somebody who can get you easy buckets at times. But I don't think in the way that in the pace of this game, DeMar would have made that big of a difference. Personally, if anything, I think he would have made it easier to defend personally. Most team play checkers or chess. We're playing rock, paper, scissors with our depth. That's crazy. Is there a way to rewatch this game somewhere? Also, how do you think Billy coached this game? Lastly, how crazy our stats are way better since DeMar left. You're getting more possessions. You're playing faster. You have to play a specific way. The Kings are learning that now with DeMar DeRozan. You kind of have to play a specific way to get the best out of DeMar DeRozan. Now, as far as can you rewatch the game? Yeah. On League Pass, you can rewatch the game. So you can do that. Even you just can't watch it live if you're in Chicago. Why does my hat feel crooked? What are we doing here? There we go. Also, how do you think Billy coached this game? I think that Wes Unseld Jr. did a great job with the defense, and I think he did pretty solid. I think Billy Donovan did pretty solid. We made some offensive adjustments. I like the way the rotations were balanced at times tonight. So Billy Donovan, I've been giving him a lot of credit. The coaching staff overall gets a lot of credit for me for how they've been coaching over these games, for sure. If given the choice between Zach or Billy, it's obvious for the fans who to keep, but Jerry would choose Billy. I mean, coaches don't count against the salary cap. Giddey, the only downside is that teams target him on defense. More length would be great on this team. Yeah, or a rim protecting big. I think a rim protecting big, like if you could not target him on defense, because even if you get past him, you had a rim protecting big, it would change a lot. But Vooch is balling as well this season. It is what it is. You got to pick your poison, right? Every team has a weakness. Every team has something that you can attack. It's about mitigating that as much as you can. Between Modest, Julian, and Dalen, who do you think will get the most minutes after All-Star break? I mean, I don't think it would change. Probably still Julian and Dalen. Where can you watch it again if you're in Chicago? League Pass. So if you're in Chicago, you can watch the replay on League Pass. If you're in Chicago, the only time you can't watch League Pass is when it's live. So you can watch the replay after the game's live on League Pass. I don't know if there's like some hours delay on that, but I know you can rewatch it. Yes, I mean, yeah, everybody pointed that out. Yeah, his shoulder was definitely bothering him. Definitely bothering him. So the next two games are winnable games. We can be 5-2 after Monday. Ain't nobody saw that coming. Well, I mean, yeah, we play against Brooklyn Nets next, and then the Utah Jazz on Monday after that. It's a possibility. Definitely a possibility. Giddey is heavily underrated on defense. Giddey has these spurts of being really good defensively, right? And sometimes your skill level just catches up with you sometimes. But he definitely has these spurts of being really, really good defensively and making the right, like getting over under screens, being active, using his length. But he's just not a great defender. It just isn't. He's just not a great defender. So it is what it is. But by the way, I haven't spoken about it yet, but Dosunmu was the reason the pace changed in the second quarter, in my opinion. Oh, yeah. Him and Kobe being out there together in the second quarter completely changed the pace of this game. Completely changed the pace of this game. So, big time there. The comparison of minutes between Ayo and Giddey are close to the same. Josh Giddey played 31 minutes. I believe, too, this is Josh Giddey's first time playing over 31 minutes because of the balance between him and Lonzo Ball. And Ayo played 29 minutes. So, yeah, close enough. Pretty close there. Pretty close there. When was the last time the Bulls and Bears both had a winning record at the same time? That's a great question. I have no idea, but it doesn't feel like it's happened a lot. But that's my time for today, guys. I got to get ready to go over and do Locked on Bulls. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that's thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See Red if you can, y'all. Peace. And we're going to play the winning outro. Peace, y'all.
Has been a presentation of the Breaks